Welcome back. So today we are going to be talking about how to get started with content marketing. Now this can be really overwhelming because there are so many options and so many voices out there, but I am here to help you create it easily and strategically. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do. So today I'm going to be sharing 3 steps to content marketing greatness. So step 1, I'm going to be talking about the research phase. And step 2, I'm going to be talking about the creation phase. And step 3 is all about how do you deploy it. Now don't skip the research phase. You may think, oh, I've got this, but I'm going to give you some tips that you may not have thought of. Okay, so step 1 is the research phase. Now when you're deciding on how to create a content marketing strategy, we have to figure out who is your target audience. So who are you trying to reach? And if you say everybody, that's probably not your target audience. If you're trying to be everything to everybody, then you're nothing to nobody. I think somebody said once, maybe help me out in the comments with who might have said that. But you've got a target audience, so identify who they are and what's important to them. That's step 1. And now step 1B is figure out where does that audience hang out? Where can you find them with your content marketing? Where are they hanging out? What platforms do they use? This depends a lot on the demographics. There are different types of people hanging out on different platforms, different ages, different cultures. So figure out based on who you're trying to attract, where they are hanging out. And the next part of the research phase is to research your competition. Who are they? What are they doing well on social media? And what are they maybe not doing so well? So what are they doing well? Maybe are they using video? Do they have good variety? Do they have good branding? Are they consistent in their look and their brand colors? And are they good at storytelling, which is so critical today? I have lots of other content about that, so go check that out. But what are they doing well? And then where can you gain leverage because they're maybe not doing such a good job? Is every post that they post selling something? Because that's a huge turnoff to today's audiences. And especially depending on the higher ticket the item is that you're selling or service, your audience wants a relationship with you. So that's why you can't always pitch at them. That's not a relationship. We have to cultivate content that your audience wants to see and wants to engage with so that they will follow you and look for more and begin to trust you. Okay, so that was step 1, all about the research. Now step 2, okay, great. Now you've done that research. Now we have to move into creating your content marketing. What is the content going to be? And what is the plan going to be to share the content? So first, what's the content going to be? Well, you figured out who your target audience is. What is interesting or important or compelling to them? One way to figure this out is, well, I've talked about ChatGPT. You can use ChatGPT for research. Another way is to go to a site called askthepublic.com and figure out, you can input keywords or your industry or any topic and it'll tell you exactly what people are Googling as far as questions around that particular industry or topic that you input. And that will give you loads of ideas for what you can create as far as content to market your business, etc., to start to develop this relationship with your target audience. Another tool is SEMrush or SEMrush, and this is a paid subscription, and I have to tell you, I was hesitant. It's kind of spendy depending on your budget, but it is so worth it. I thought, wow, this is crazy. I'm going to keep this even though it's a little spendy because I've gotten so much use out of it. Now, they do, I believe, offer a free trial so you can go in and play around, but I have another video on how to use that tool for keyword research so you can figure out exactly what your audience is searching for. You can also set up a free account with Google AdWords and do research that way. You have to input a credit card, but you never have to spend anything on that card in order to do the keyword research. So This is how we're going to figure out what to create and what to talk about. Now, some sort of way to lay all this out is important so that you're not just throwing stuff against the wall on any given day and hoping that it sticks. So some sort of content plan or content calendar is critical. I use my own content calendar, which I'm happy to share, so look for that down below. So I have my own content calendar that I'm happy to share, so check that out below, and you can go ahead and download a template for that you can use. I just do mine in Excel. There are many other content creation tools out there to plot your strategy, but I simply use Excel and I plot out 1 month at a time, and I figure out, okay, what do I want to talk about that month? Are there holidays? Are there promotions that I've got coming up? Are there new products that I'm releasing? Whatever it is that's relevant, start with the 30,000 foot view of the month. What do you want to be sure to touch on as far as highlights go? And then we can drill down and get more specific. Now, part of your research about your audience and your competition is how frequently you should be posting. Now, if you're a realtor, you don't want to be posting every day, because unless you have an audience that is already engaged with you and looking for what you are selling, then every day might be a little too much. But for me, every day is just the right amount for me. So I've got something going up on my preferred social media channels every day. So figure out what your frequency is and then lay out your plan. Now, one of the things that I like to do as far as my own strategy that I highly recommend you do, it is laid out in my social media calendar template, and those are the content pillars. So I ensure that I am encompassing all the different parts of my strategy and different voices, different topics, different approaches to my social media. So I'm not always doing just one thing. So I'm not always just trying to be likable, or I'm not always trying to sell something, or I'm not always trying to establish trust. So there's a good mix for this that you can incorporate. So check out the social media calendar for the different pillars, is what I call them. And these are the different types of topics that you can focus on that day or that post around the content that you want to deliver. So okay, it's Friday, it's time for me to do a trust post. So I am going to push content today on my social media that is all about helping my audience to trust me or my company, whoever you're representing. So you're going to do something different that day than what you would do on a pitch day where you're pitching something or promoting something. So lay all that out and formulate your strategy in an entire month. And as part of laying out your strategy and figuring out what you're going to talk about, once you've established the pillars that you want to use, you don't have to use all 7 of mine. These are just the ones that I use, but figure out what works for you that provides a nice mix for you. And then you can go ahead and do 2 things. You can use ChatGPT or your AI tool of choice to go in and ask it to help you generate content. And also, once you've gotten established and you've created enough content, you can start to repurpose that. Meaning, say you want to do a long form video on YouTube like this, and then you want to maybe create reels out of that, or stories, Facebook stories or Instagram reels, or maybe you want to transcribe part of a video and turn it into a blog post or turn it into a series of social media posts. So you don't have to work harder once you get enough of a content pool underway. You can work smarter by repurposing those in a bunch of different ways. Okay, so the last step of this is, how do we deploy this? How do we put this out there into the world strategically so that it's purposeful, it's not overwhelming to your prospects? So the cadence is important, how often you're gonna post and where you're gonna do the posting. Again, I post every day. I mix it up, whether I'm posting on LinkedIn or whether I'm posting on Facebook or Instagram, depending on the type of post. So Instagram is more of a visual medium, so I'm posting something shorter form, their verbiage with a photo. Whereas Facebook You can pretty much do whatever you want on Facebook. LinkedIn, more businessy, but you still can use some personal things to build trust. But pay attention to where you're scheduling, how you're scheduling, and be sure you repurpose and you continue on that cadence so that you're continuously generating new content as well as repurposing old content so that you do not have to reinvent the wheel every single day and every single month. This will get easier as you go along and you figure out what works, what is engaging your audience, what is getting them to like, follow, to trust you, to comment back, and you're gonna get a feel for whether all of these platforms that you're using are worth your time and effort. It may be that you want to focus all your effort on just one or two. So hope you enjoyed this, and check out my other videos as far as how to do research, how to use ChatGPT, and also be sure and download that social media calendar template.